Hi, this is Tom with a list of interesting things. It's going to be a quick one today because I just got back from Manhattan and I have meetings this evening, and there's a cat on my lap who is unhappy that I'm recording, but I didn't want to let the events of today go by without talking about them at least a little bit. As of this morning, sometime in the wee hours of the morning, Russia took parts of Ukraine on the eastern edge that are being called the separatist-controlled areas. So we're going to talk about them. We're going to discuss the military position that Europe finds itself in. And we are going to talk about what I think are the three most likely scenarios. Now, I do want to note that my global political knowledge is not perfect. I am not an expert. I like to think that I am very well versed in United States politics. In global politics, I'm not nearly as well versed, so please take everything I'm about to say with a grain of salt. So, this is a map of the Ukraine, and this is, you may recall, this is the section that was annexed by Russia in 2014. This is called the Crimean Peninsula, and this is the section that was taken by Russia in the last 24 hours as of the recording of this. I'm going to switch on over to this. This is a map of Europe broadly, and I think that there's a couple of scenarios that are a bit more likely than others. We're going to start with the most likely scenario, I think. Most likely scenario, in my opinion, is that Russia is going to take this and take certain other sections of eastern Ukraine. I think that if this is taken and becomes Russian, there will be little response by Europe or the United States. There will be sanctions, but as we have seen in recent global politics, sanctions do not do much to help anybody. And of course, everyone always texts me while I'm recording. I want to note that if this happens, if sections of the Ukraine are annexed and the United States and NATO and the EU do not respond, I think that it is very likely that the Chinese government will have little trouble completely taking Taiwan and entirely subduing it. All right, so that's scenario one. Scenario two, oh boy. Scenario two is Russia takes the whole of Ukraine and claims cultural association with the Ukraine. This is scenario two, and it is separated by scenario three by whatever the major European powers do in response. If they do, this in and of itself could lead to the United States mustering troops in Poland and Romania. This could very easily lead to war in and of itself. But it could not. And Russia could stop there. And Russia could just take the Ukraine. However, it is further possible, we'll call that, we'll call this scenario 2, where they take the Ukraine. Scenario 3A is that's it, right? I'm sorry, scenario 2A is that's it. Scenario 2B is this leads to war, and shall we say the West musters in response, and this leads to global conflict. Scenario 3. Russia annexes the Ukraine and then musters troops on the Belarusian, Finnish, and Polish borders. and then launches an invasion. If this is not adequately responded to, troops could be in Germany in days. And if it is adequately responded to, that is arguably worse as artillery fire rings out in Eastern Europe again. This warrants more thought and more investigation. But I am very, very, very scared about this. I find this deeply unsettling. I hope that you find yourselves, like the Russia-Ukraine conflict, complicated and powerful, and a little intimidating, and above all, interesting. I'll see you next time.